What is up, Juventini? Welcome back to the AJC, your channel dedicated to Juventus. Back on track. Spalletti, is he the answer? It looks like it's going to be a done deal. The announcement should be coming tomorrow. And in comes Luciano Spalletti, everybody. But you know what? At least the guy's trying. At least the guy is trying, okay? So that's step one from Luciano, okay? That's step one. At least he's got that going for him. But obviously, we got a match today. Brambilla is going to take care of while we face Udinese. You've got Spalletti that could be confirmed later today as official or potentially tomorrow. And then the next game, Cremonese, should be his. We got a ton to discuss. I got Trim. I got Justin. Boys, how you doing? Justin, how you doing?
I'm great. This is just wonderful news. I just can't wait for today. I've never been so excited for a game in my entire life.
Is it because Thuram's out? Because that's also one of the headlines. Thuram's going to be out missing this one. So guess who is going in? Your boy, Colt Miners. Trimmy, how you doing, man?
Doing all right and good to be back. It's been a while, so I got to shake the rust off a bit. But, a lot's happened, obviously, in Juve land. And, trying to be optimistic, but I don't know, man. We'll get into it, but we'll see.
Well, let's see. I mean, change had to happen, so it could go either way. We'll talk about our thoughts, our feelings on how things are going to shape up. We got Vincenzo in here, DR1S, Coqui, Massimo in here. The title, back on track with a pick of Spalletti, isn't deliberate rage bait. I don't know what is. Take it easy, pal. Take it easy. It's just a thumbnail. Don't let it set things off at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Buongiorno a tutti. Morning. Forza Juve. Great to see you all in here. All right. Let's get into just the main headline, of course, which is that we were hearing it was going to be between Spalletti and Palladino, most likely. Yesterday, early morning, the news was all that Spalletti had a deal, had an agreement. They were just working out final details. Today, we're hearing that it is pretty much done. It's going to be top four qualification, but the way it was worded said option if top four is achieved. And I'm curious if that is in fact it, or if it is an automatic kick in for the extension if we reach top four, because the way it was worded in Fabrizio Romano's world was option if top four kicks in. So again, we wait for the official notification, and then in the official printout and post from Juventus, we should get clarification on those details. But guys, this is the big one right now. Spalletti coming in. How do you feel about it? Let's start with Trim.
That's a loaded question. I mean,
rumors he's going to be there today. I don't know. We'll see if he'll be there in the stadium today, but rumors are that he's going to be in the building watching this one.
Well, it should be interesting. I mean, he definitely wasn't my first choice. Just because between him and Mancini, I felt like they want more of a long-term guarantee. Now, he's obviously told the team that, he'll work on a short-term basis with, reaching certain objectives to eventually get that extension. I just don't trust the team. I'm with you. Like, I feel like it's top four and he's secured and it's going to be something outrageous, like 2-3 years. I know it. I'm feeling major deja vu from last year. Specifically when, the whole thing with Motta, we brought him in. I was super excited, looking forward to seeing the 2-7-2 Motta ball, and that kind of just blew up in our faces. We brought in Tudor. He got us a top four. We were all happy, securing Champions League and that money, prize money. And then the summer comes and we bend over for Conte, and he basically tells us to stand back up and he's not coming. And then we're back to Tudor ball again. And going into the season, I said, I'm not convinced Tudor is the guy. I'm wishful and hopeful and optimistic. So now we're here, and he was one of the only options. I would have personally gone Palladino. That's just me. I think he could have got more out of this group. And, he's not a long-term, wouldn't have been a long-term solution. But either way, as I see it, this is just a stopgap to get us through this season. So I'm going to be hopeful and optimistic, but I honestly don't have a good feeling about Spalletti personally.
Huh. And Justin, how do you feel about Spalletti coming in?
I don't speak French, so when Trim said déjà vu, I don't know what he means. But everyone's giving him credit for driving 4 hours to do the interview. And if I'm correct, which
is that a thing,
usually
or was
happens.
that just a joke about Tudor? I think it's a
I was
joke
gonna say,
about
yeah.
Tudor.
Oh,
I don't think it's
yeah, well,
legit.
that's what I get for reading the comments. Thanks, whoever that was. You just completely screwed me. He's not my first choice either, but I did like his quote about saying, I'll take the short-term contract, and it's up to me to prove that I deserve to be here long-term. That I'm fine with. I mean, at least it's better than nothing. And he got the tattoo covered up, which obviously is a bonus point.
Big improvement. Big improvement with the new tattoo. Come on. Huge improvement. Get that garbage off. You could take that t-shirt off too. But in all honesty, I don't know, man. Mixed vibes around this. A lot of mixed feelings. Like, you can go back and forth. I could fight the case for both sides. Everybody knew I wasn't really keen on signing Spalletti. I said no matter who your options are, make it short term. Remember, everybody, we don't know 100% yet. If it's top four and we automatically lock in, I don't like it. If it's still an option, despite reaching top four, which is a bare minimum objective where we're at now based on how this season has started, then I'm fine. Okay? I'm fine as long as we still have the choice, because I didn't want us committing to something through desperation. Through where we're at right now, it's just like, okay, now we're going this route, and you're going for experience for the sake of experience. But experience of what? Like, people want Spalletti because experience, like what? Like, is it recency bias because he won a Scudetto with Napoli in a year where everybody else choked, especially Inter, when that was supposed to be theirs in this big cycle that they're on, one of the strongest cycles ever that really hasn't amounted to much? Everybody kind of shit the bed that season. I'll be quite honest, the big jobs that he's had, he hasn't done shit at. He was terrible at Inter, got nothing there, lasted 2 years, and even that seemed a little overstayed. Zenit in Russia doesn't count as a big gig for me. Winning that league means fuck all. No disrespect, but it doesn't mean anything to win there. Like, the Azzurri job, his other big one, nothing. Awful. And he was in charge of selection. I'm not big on, and especially like this guy and the way he talks, and just I just don't like him. I'm not a fan of him. I think he's trying too hard to be somebody he isn't, like, and just be this professor, and that Scudetto almost got to his head and he was happy to leave. I'm going to go to the Azzurri. We're going to win fucking everything with the Azzurri, and he got fucking brought right back down to reality. So while I appreciate the words of him speaking like, oh, you know what? I will gladly I'm happy to take a short term, whatever, because it's up to me to prove. Of course it's up to you to prove, because your last stint with the Azzurri was so bad. So, for me, hey, if it's short term and there's no commitment automatically reaching top four, then I'm okay. Leave things in your hands. Make some selections based on what you want to do, because now all of a sudden, I don't know, like a typical Spalletti side will play 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. You just, again, going to show you how much of a mess things are. We committed to Tudor without really committing to him, but you've got players and positions filled for, a 3-4-2-1 type setup. Well, are we equipped for Spalletti for the rest of the season? Like, I don't know. I guess we'll see. And don't go crazy with what Gazzetta put out there with McKennie as left winger, because don't bank on that one. I don't know. I've got really mixed feelings here. And the experience, sure. The experience is good. It's good to have. Whatnot. Could he steady the ship more than Palladino? based on experience? Maybe. Could we get ourselves into trouble, and are we opening doors up based on some of his relationships with players?
Yeah.
Should it have been better to maybe get a clean slate in here? Because one of the big things that people that are fighting for Spalletti saying, no, Spalletti's good because he's going to put these players in check. I challenge that, and the reason is because I said when you get rid of Tudor and you fire him, the management team should have been the one right there immediately at the same time reading the riot act to the players. Because if you leave that to any coach that's coming in now, how the fuck is that going to start things off on the right foot? And you already have him coming in with some situations that aren't going to be starting off on the right foot. It's kind of weird. Will it be better than Tudor, though?
Yeah, so this is my thing. It will be better on the field in the sense of he's going to play a formation that I think universally across the fan base will like. But let's not forget, yes, he's going to hold the guys accountable, but let's not forget, they won the Scudetto at Napoli, but when it was going bad there, like every coach, but he lost the dressing room and nobody wanted to play for him. He was bad with certain top guys there getting into rifts. He's already going to come in, and we're joking but not joking about Locatelli out, Gatti out. This is my fear. We don't have, and you can't really do it mid-season anyways. This is what should have been done in the summer. We have no clear direction, no clear plan. We went into this season with, worrying about the finances and trying to get through another year where we can just, get top 4, get some more money, and then maybe spend and look forward to next year. But right away, when we didn't get the coach that we wanted in the offseason, that kind of just set us up for failure or disaster, potentially. Now, I'm not going to be all doom and gloom and hope for the best with this guy, but I really don't want him to come in and dictate player decisions, because look what happened. We got players for Tudor. He's not here anymore. We got players for Motta last year. He wasn't here anymore. So now this guy's going to come in, and in January he's going to put Locatelli for sale, and they're going to sell Locatelli. Then what? They're going to
Who's coming in? You're going to sit if you're going to sell him. Sell him. Who's coming in? Who's he going to want? Is he going to want Di Lorenzo? Di Lorenzo going to be a savior for us? We need somebody at the back. I want Dilo now.
Yeah.
Who does this guy want? What are we doing? Are we going to chase this? That's why I say, what's our actual vision? What's our actual plan? Where are we going? Right now, it's the same situation as it was last year. That's why I said no matter who comes in, don't commit to these guys, because you're not going to come up with a plan on the fly when you're the first team that fired their manager in this season.
No.
Trying to come up with a plan right now on the fly ain't going to cut it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we reach top 4. Spalletti gets us, stabilizes everything. Which I'll say, I think he can do that. I think he could stabilize things. And I'll be quite honest, I think just the way Tudor was going, he was out of ideas. And I think the one route you should go with this group of players and trying to figure out how to get them to do it, he seemed adamant on not going that route because he said it in his own words. He was terrified. He was terrified of the defensive solidity being broken. Well, something's got to give, man, because what you were doing wasn't working. And then towards the end here, we saw him freewheeling. 3 setups in 3 different matchups, 4 in 1, your final match that you drop to a brutal Lazio. I mean, I would be confident to say Palladino would do better.
100%.
Even if you would consider him an interim, great. I would want anybody coming in at this stage of the season, which haven't even hit November yet, haven't even hit Halloween, interim. Spalletti interim. For everybody that's no, just lock him in. No, don't lock him in. Do not lock him in. Don't lock any of these guys in. Palladino included. But Spalletti's coming in. And, with the players and everything, that's why I said, if the management team hasn't done it and read them the right act, that's who needs to do it, not the coach coming in. Because if you want Spalletti to come in and go gung-ho, man, that's a recipe for disaster too. Because I told you, I think these players, I think you got a group, like there's a lot going on around the players and a lot of talks going on about, and we don't know what's true, what's not. Heated arguments with Tudor. He finally lost it, and a group of them conspired to get him sacked and stuff. Hey, heated arguments are going to happen across every team and with coaches, etc. You know, how much gets embellished, how much gets, we say it all the time. I mean, hey, maybe something's going down. Everything that happened, though, doesn't really line up with like your traditional case, like Motta last year. Motta was legit benching our best players.
Yeah.
He would legit bench them for like 3-4 games at a time. This Juve side can't go without like a Thuram or Yildiz for 4 games straight. We just don't have the coverage. So that's completely different. That's makes sense, especially when you saw the captain's armband. Here, it's yours, it's yours, it's yours, it's yours. That tells me it's complete disarray. With Tudor, I'm not getting the vibes that he lost anybody. Do you actually think that he lost these guys that they're talking about, Cambiaso, Locatelli, Gatti, Justin? Do you think he lost these guys?
I don't know if he lost the team, but it certainly didn't look great because the best game they played recently was Madrid, and Locatelli was on the bench. Cambiaso actually did show up that game, which I'm fucking shocked because he's been putting up stinkers since 2025 rolled over. But yeah, I don't know. I can't confidently say yes, he definitely lost the team, but I think it was kind of trending in that direction. And part of me wonders if that's why they decided, all right, look, it's starting to head that way. Let's just cut it off before it gets any worse.
And Trim, what do you think about the players and Tudor? You buying into all the issues there behind the scenes?
I think the issues were apparent in the last run of matches. Like, I don't think it was an overall kind of thing, even dating back to last year. Obviously, it was different last year because he's just coming in, but they had the Club World Cup, which the three of us were in attendance at, the start of the season. I would say it was maybe, like, it was evident for sure in the Lazio match. Like, for me, something was up. You could see that it wasn't working, and everybody's frustrated across the board. Players that are able to make a simple 6-foot pass can't make a 6-foot pass. They're obviously not thinking straight. It doesn't mean that they're just shit players. Like, I get it. We beat this dead horse of, we don't have Juventus caliber players and Locatelli's average and this and that. Guys, we're not trying to say that Locatelli's on this pedestal of the best midfielder in the world, but he's a useful player and can be a useful player in the right situation, in the right circumstances. I think overall the entire team took a hit in the last few matches specifically. So I don't think he lost the dressing room, but I wouldn't be surprised that there was a rift towards the end here, specifically the last few matches. The Real Madrid match notwithstanding, because I think they all played a really strong quality match, and they did what he had asked. So I can't see a rift there. But specific to the Lazio match, yeah, you could see something was up, and I think that's why ultimately Camoli pulled the pin in this whole thing and decided to make the change.
Yeah, I don't think it's coming from the players. I don't think the players are calling shots for the management. That's just their call. I would put it more down to this whole Camoli thing. And this is the part that pisses me off. And this is why I guess you could call it on high alert with Camoli. Because in the summer, you could have had these options that you're going at now. People are throwing out the excuse. Even media's throwing it out. Well, his hands were tied because of the Club World Cup. Bullshit. They absolutely were not tied. Would have cost us $1 million to break with Tudor. And a coach won't come in for Club World Cup? No problem. Keep him beyond. Make your cuts there. If he's not your guy, you're putting a price tag. This is what drives me mental. That's like saying you're putting a price tag on your vision, on your plans, and you're going to stop your plans, or I'm going to stay with this guy even though he's not my call or not my number one choice because of a tournament, because of timing, because of cost to break. It's bullshit, everybody. It's bullshit. I am skeptical of Kamoli. Bottom line. Okay.
All right, can we stop calling him Kamoli until he gets something right? From now on, he's Damien. He does not get the respect of last name. He gets the familiar. He's Damien the Devil. He's just ruining the club. He's Damien. He's not.
You think
Kamoli.
he's ruining? Well, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, ruining.
He's one of the biggest problems.
It's 3 months in, 4 months in. I mean,
Hey,
I'll call him Danny Canola for now. Okay, I'll go with Danny Canola until we start seeing not even cannoli because those are delicious. So let's go Danny Canola. Okay,
cannelloni because they suck. I hate cannelloni, so let's just go cannelloni. That's
easy with the cannelloni hate, man.
They suck. I hate it. Hot take: cannelloni overrated. Worst fucking pasta food. Anyway.
No. It's not overrated. I think it's perfectly rated. It's not rated high. It's not.
No, it sucks.
Yeah, it sucks, but everyone knows they suck.
I gotta take a break here on this one. I'm telling you right now.
Take a lap. Okay. We got this.
We're gonna have to get back on that one. That might be a storm the barn. Listen, the players. Speaking of the players, bravo to Patrice Evra, who fucking laid it out in that video. Laid it out on the video. Now, he just, all the shit he was saying was spot on. When he's talking about the group, he said a lot of things. You know, it's easy to love Juve when they win. It's now that the fans must stay close to the team. I'll tell you, the old lady never dies. Now she's wounded, but she'll come back. On the field, we all ate 9 Scudetti in a row. And we didn't steal them. You know, and then he's talking about the players. This is no longer the Juventus of Agnelli, who was always with us, taught us the history of the club. Players, if you are not willing to give up even your family for Juve, your children, you need to leave. You can't always get the coaches sacked. When I was at United, it happened to me with Moyes, and I felt like shit because it's us, the players, who go out on the field. He spoke about Villar Perosa. Guys, remember Villar Perosa? That was our tradition. Beginning of every year. Going out there, that family feel, heritage, culture. And they'd play that game. They would salute the fans in a beautiful spectacle as they rush the pitch and everything. And then they all spend time together. As a group, as a team, before the season even kicks off. Something so simple like that being gone now. Why? Over a family fucking dispute with Elkan and the other family members over assets. It's just little things like that. That's why I've been saying for some time, people that are hanging on to this family bond and ties, it has been gone for some time. But Zio Pat calling out the players. When it comes to the players, I don't actually believe that we have bad apples in the group. I think you have some that get this sense of entitlement. I'm not going to name them, but I think there's clear indications that you have some in the group that have a sense of entitlement. There's one that stands out immediately. Immediately as being entitled. Now, what I will say this is Juve caliber comes into play so much. I'm hearing this all the time. Juve caliber. Giaccherini made a claim on the other day on Juve caliber. I mean, holy shit. Where do you even start with that one when Giaccherini wants to talk Juve caliber? I mean, buddy, you were part of a group that had some way better spine than what they got right now. But I'll give you the break there, Giaccherini, okay? Jack. But he made his claim of Yildiz, Thuram. I believe he had Bremer in there. And I think that might have been it. Yildiz, Thuram, Cambiasso he threw in there. He didn't even put Bremer in there. Yildiz, Thuram, Cambiasso, and Vlahovic.
What?
I
Yes,
think
that was
he hit his
Giaccherini's.
head.
The only players, Juve standards, Juve caliber, Yildiz, Thuram, Cambiasso, and Vlahovic. This is funny to me on so many levels. I'll tell you why. Because Giaccherini, like, he's one of those guys for me that I always say when people talk Juve caliber, you can have these guys that are on this squad right now because we made our bread and butter was these blue collar, hardworking guys. The problem right now is we have too many of them.
Yeah.
We just have too many of these guys. You haven't balanced out the team. So Giaccherini, he was one of those guys. Blood, sweat, tears, like fight. Great. We need guys like that in the group. But make no mistake about it. If he wants to put pound for pound the guys he named to a standard here against the guys to the standard of the squad in 2012, buddy, ain't no chance, Jack. Ain't no chance.
No.
So who are all these blue-collar guys we have? Because I actually think that's wildly inaccurate.
We're filled with just hardworking guys that would round out a squad. My issue is you guys spend a lot of time saying Juve caliber, and you want to talk about Yildiz, Thuram, Bremer, these guys. My biggest issue with this team, our stars are not legit stars. That's the problem. Juve caliber teams have legit fucking stars. We don't. The closest guy we have to a star is Bremer. Yildiz is on a breakout season. This is his first year as a protagonist with Juve. If people want to make a direct comparison, which they always do, to Del Piero had his breakout, but it was pushed by legit fucking players with him. So my biggest beef, if you want to talk Juve caliber, is our stars are not actual stars on this team right now. Thuram ain't fucking close. And I love the guy. He's got a ton of potential. I'm not shitting on him, but he's not a star player right now.
No.
Yildiz is very close, but he's not a star player right now. Consistency makes you that fucking level. It ain't there. Chico is not a star player. Bremer is the closest guy we have to a legit star. He's the best center back in Serie A. I'll give you that one. But when you want to talk Juve caliber to me, and you're talking about ragging on just guys that are squad players that could be good squad players in a legit Juve side, that's where my issue comes into play, because we don't have legit stars. Cambiasso, included on that list by Giaccherini, is fucking hilarious to me.
I also don't think we have the blue collar, the hard working. I don't think a lot of them are that hard working. Like, if you want to narrow that down, we have a lot of role players, but I wouldn't say a lot of them are hard working, like Grinta, run, lay it all out on the field types. I feel like that's part of the problem, is a lot of the guys are kind of lazy.
Bullshit.
Or at least they seem lazy.
Chico works his ass off. Loca works his ass off.
Yes.
McKennie works his ass off. Gatti will work his ass off. These guys will work. Yes. Kalulu fucking runs full go. He's got an engine. That's not the issue.
Other guys that aren't.
Our stars are not legit stars.
Yeah.
Both are correct.
That's the bigger issue for me. We have squad players. We have a whole group of squad players. That's the thing. Your star power, it ain't there. It's not true, legitimate star power.
Well, and the best part is the one guy that you named as our legitimate star, you could arguably make the case that he should be sold and can or will be sold, which is Bremer. Based on the current situation and his situation of the injury history. So, I mean, if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know, Berto, like you said, it hammers home your point. Like, we have a lot of guys that could be very good players and complementary pieces on a winning team, but they're not stars. We don't have enough. Look at all the teams around the world that are in the top of their leagues right now. I don't even have to mention their names. Count the star players on those teams. Not even going to touch Serie A because There's not many on a couple of those teams. There's maybe a handful. But my point is that they do have star players, and we don't. We have one. So
it's a problem. It's a problem. Like, I'm looking at a Juve caliber side. I'm not looking at these guys that are. I said it in the summer. We've accumulated a team that is a lot of just squad players. It's just the lights got to be shined, on ambition and the talent, and realize that, like, holy hell, man, like, these guys got a way to go. And it's cool. Yildiz is phenomenal player with a shitload of talent, a fucking high ceiling. But god damn it, it goes back to that question of giving him the captaincy too early. Early responsibility, having to pull that. Del Piero had the benefit of legit strong players around him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that fortune with us right now. So it's a lot on his plate. But man, I'm telling you, this group, we got to figure it out. And I still stand firm that with the players, the guys that are entitled, everything, Juve's got to draw a line. Like, I don't care about, like, Spalletti, anybody. It doesn't matter. Juve's got to draw the line at home, in their house. That when you start signing players, like, this is what we want. This is what the expectation is here. You're either in or you're out. Put aside the market opportunities and all that shit. It's like, what are you trying to build? How do you want your team to play? What is your identity? We're freewheeling, boys. They got to start locking it in. But the talent, you got to start jumping on some legit talent. Star power, like actual star power. You can't keep brushing it off year after year after year. Like, at some point, you got to up the ante. But how do you do that while you're trying to play Elkan's game now with the finances and everything? Moneyball and getting the top talent. You're either grooming it and keeping them, but then you're waiting. You could be waiting 3, 4 years, 5 years for these guys to hit. What if they don't? Grooming isn't an option, right?
I think we kind of have a base, though, of guys that could turn into stars. In addition to Bremer, I think Bremer is pretty much solid. We've seen the best of him. We know what he's capable of. Boom. Yildiz, we're not even going to talk about. We know his potential is the roof, the ceiling, the moon, whatever you want to call it. It's up there. And then it's Thuram and Lil Cheeks. Like, we got to me, that's the core. You build around them. I think Chico's a year or maybe probably next year. I feel like he's gotten better this year with the decision making. I think lock it in and continue to improve. Give Thuram another. He's got to stay healthy for a little bit, but let him improve. And I think that's the base. Primo Calcio, you're wrong. Lil Cheeks is core. You let him cook. You let that little midget run around and get on everybody's nerves and tug on people's jerseys and piss off the other team and score goals and get assists. Lil Cheeks is the hill I will die on alone or with whoever wants to join me.
I just don't. It's hard to back a guy that's nicknamed Little Cheeks by you, man. Take it easy. Take it easy.
The people want what the people want.
Going back from this building within, you build from within. You can't wait 4 or 5 years for all your talent when you're building from within. We can't afford talent. Okay. We can't convince the best free transfers. Well, this is why everything needs to make sense. You've got to balance everything out. You're going to have to jump on. They're going to have to scrap this age 30 salary thing. Like, they're going to have to scrap that if they want to get some. There's still talented players that have a lot to offer at that age. If you're going to pigeonhole yourself and just say, no, we're never going to go and break that rule or that mold, you ain't going to get far because some of Juve's best signings fit that bill in that decade of dominance. That was the way we were getting that talent. Because, yeah, we're not going to go out and buy Mbappe when he's moving from fucking wherever. Like, you're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to be that team. Not unless things drastically change with the league. Yeah, we'll all be dead before that happens. We get it. So you're going to have to scrap that mold. I always said it. That makes sense while you're going through the period you were trying to scrap that 320 deficit, 350 mil deficit. That's fine. That's a rule that made sense through that. But now, on the back side of it, where you're pretty much clean, should be completely home free, 26-27, you got to get out of it. You got to snap out of it. There's still some quality players with a lot to offer that fit that bill. You're going to need that. And a lot of those players have experience. Whereas you don't have experience on this team right now. Not much. Your most decorated players, one's a third string goalkeeper. Pinsolio is one of the most decorated players on this team right now. If not the most decorated player.
Yeah. He's a legend.
The other is Rugani. The other is Perin. That have been sitting back there a bit. I think they're the most decorated on this team.
Says a lot.
Like,
about the experience.
You have to have balance. You have to have balance in there. Even if we would have kept, like, everybody's talking like, oh, we should have kept all these young guys, etc. Well, that's just half of the battle. People are saying, well, we created this mess, with Juntali and bullshit. The mess was already there. The debt, the decisions of how to get out of it and everything were already made. The only way you were going to do that was by getting rid of your only assets. You weren't going to sell the old dead weight. This has all been the steps needed to get to this point, but now Juve has to work out the balance with players. But right now in the locker room, it's a delicate situation. Is Spalletti the answer? We're going to find out. It looks like he's set to come in. Buckle up those seatbelts. I told you that when Tudor got sacked. Buckle up those seatbelts. Let's see if he'll be lucky Luciano and get things going in here. Oh boy. As for today, Udinese with Brambilla at the helm. Let's take a look at what these teams are going to do. By the way, shout out to Joel watching from Trinidad. Much love. Much love. Let's get into this, okay? Again, Spalletti doing everything he can to impress us. That's a start, buddy, but I'm still skeptical. Udinese. 3-5-2. Zaniolo. Madonna mia. 3-5-2. Davis doing well for them up top. They've kind of found a little bit of a rhythm in their game. It's kind of sad that we're a little bit sketched out over Udinese, but I mean, I could understand if fans feel that way. This one, I mean, geez, gotta get a win. What's Juve doing? No Thuram. Thuram out of the squad list for today. Di Gregorio. Kalulu, Gatti, Kelly. 3-man backline. McKennie, right wing back. Locatelli, Cope Miners. Cambiaso. Yildiz behind David and Vlahovic. Guys, how do you feel about this one? Let's start with Trim.
So off the hop, I don't like the three at the back. But for a one-off game, I can make sense of it, especially with an interim coach just kind of stepping in. So the three at the back's not my favorite thing. But I do like the little triangle in the middle with Yildiz just ahead of Loca and Coop. Regardless of what all the fans think of Coop, I think that he can still kind of round into form here eventually. Not blow the doors off the place, but I think he can still provide something. And it's going to be ultimately, unfortunately, up to Yildiz, all on him, I think, to help Vlahovic and David start to find the back of the net and create a bit. Because it's like a bunch of skeletons up there, man. We've got nothing. I know this fan base and our little channel here, they like to hammer home at me for the David affinity that I have, but I'm telling you guys, there's still a player there. I don't care what anyone says. I think I see a player that's lost all confidence, and it's kind of just like the team all out of sorts. They don't know what to do. And now that Tudor is gone, hopefully Spalletti can come in and figure something out to get these guys going. Because I mean, you're committed to him, and I think you got to give him this runway to just start him and see. And I actually really did appreciate and like what he and Vlahovic had to offer in the Lazio match, despite ending up in the loss. I think that they can work well together. And we were kind of saying it from the beginning of the season that we were surprised they didn't start the two of them up top. So I don't know. Let's see what happens. But yeah, three at the back, I'm not a big fan of. We'll see when Spalletti comes in. But for today's match, should be fine. Just Udinese screams low block. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I'll give a little bit of a rundown with Udinese. Just want to see thoughts on the lineup that's projected there and everything. I mean, to your point about David, you could put a lot of players in that category that need to be doing more, need to be doing better, that aren't. It should paint a different picture, like especially when guys that are doing well before they come here. Something's going on. Something's in the water there. Mm-hmm. In Turin. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's very reminiscent of a team that's been in shambles for quite some time where the same shit was happening. No matter who they picked up, no matter what was going on, they would enter. We all know the club I'm talking about. And nothing would happen. They leave, and all of a sudden, they're players again. Like, something is going on. I just have a feeling that, or as an organization, they're failing everybody. Everybody.
Yeah.
Something is broken at Continassa. But Justin, what do you think about that lineup heading into this game with Udinese?
Some of my least favorite guys, I see their names, and it's disturbing. I guess Cambiasso has to play there, but my God, just King Kelly is going to cook.
Does he?
I don't think Cambiasso has a right to do anything at this point.
Why not McKinney over there, and why not play João Mario, who you guys bought?
Yeah, I was just.
That's what I was just going to say. Put Mario on the right, put McKinney on the left, get Cambiasso a little bench time, and then I guess Little Cheeks comes on against the tired legs, and hopefully it doesn't come in the 78th minute like the late Tudor subs, but we'll see.
Yeah. It's when you're talking about even Chico, like I see all the Chico talk there and stuff, the reality for those that don't believe in Chico or don't think he's much of a player at all, the reality is he has been huge for us in creating anything. Without that guy, you got sweet fuck all to look at for creation. So, man, sometimes I feel like we're pointing fingers at the wrong fucking guys. But Cambiasso, sit the fuck down and figure it out. I don't know. The funny thing to me was that last match, he was actually moving around the most he has in a while. And he was finding pockets. Some of our best sequences actually had him in the heart of it, especially the Jonathan David opportunity where he slipped it through for him. And then he gets taken off at half. That is strange to me because I'm like, that's finally like Cambiasso doing Cambiasso things that we need, and he's fucking off. But I get it, but this goes back to that fear. I mentioned the fear from Tudor. Defensive solidity. Cambiasso was getting cooked. He was getting cooked pretty bad on the defensive end, right? So Tudor, he scrapped it. But he called in Yildiz. He moved McKinney over. And offensively, you lost that guy finding that pocket because it wasn't happening anymore. It wasn't that extra guy finding that pocket. So it is what it is. And then again, people will call in arguments, Tudor, halftime, everything. Guys, this shit happens. This shit happens. But you can't let arguments take away from what's better for the group or the team as a whole or overall. So, again, Tudor was always defense first. He wouldn't break from that. There's a reason you saw Kalulu forever as right wing back. Just saying. If I look at this lineup, I'm okay. Ultimately, I'm okay with it. It is what it is. I wouldn't mind a 4-3-1-2, but you know what? Sure. At this point, Brambilla is just, let's call it for what it is. It's one game. He's literally only deciding who goes out there. It's up to these players today. It's up to these players to get the job done. All he can do is line them up. This is going to be them. It's going to be on the players. 100%.
He did pretty much put our best 11 out there right now. But if I was in the chat, my storm the barn would be, does Cambiaso get spun in a 360 by some defender with a 72 or some attacker with a 72 rating on FC 26? And the answer is probably yes.
Udinese, we know what Trim's already talked about. You got a low block, okay? They'll invite pressure. They'll play physical. Okay, they'll invite the pressure. They'll play physical and battle for their duels and then try to hit you. Very direct, very north-south. They will bomb the wingbacks quickly. Very, very fast. Very fast. They're going to bomb those wingbacks up there. And they're going to do what teams kind of do to Juve in general. Flood the middle. Force you to the outside. We usually see a lot of stale possession from Juventus in these games. Having Yildiz in the middle behind two strikers is half the battle and the right approach. I liked having two strikers against Lazio. And I think you could generate more. They get more involved because there's different looks. Especially when you have guys that contrast like Vlahovic and David. I think that's the way to continue. We'll see what Spalletti decides when he comes in. You're probably going to go back to one-man lead, but that's a story for later on. Weaknesses. Udinese's weaknesses. Slow defensive reset. When they do commit forward and they do bomb those wingbacks, they are very, very slow getting back. So we'll have opportunities to take advantage of that. No more slow-ass tempo play. We got to be quick with it. And quick combinations. You got two strikers up top there. One of them is capable of quick combinations. That's David.
Yep.
Get that going. So Vlahovic needs to look to be the one to break in behind, but David can play those 1-2s. Hopefully with Yildiz. And Vlahovic can hopefully pick something up behind that and get behind defenses. But that's one of the things that they struggle with. If you're going to cross it in, Udinese will be more than happy to see you cross the ball in all game. But they do struggle with quick combinations. For God's sakes, hit the fucking ball. Shoot the fucking ball. Quick combinations outside the area. Rip it. Their form, 1 win, 2 draws, 2 losses in the last 5. Juve, 3 draws, 2 losses in the last 5. Their only significant absentee is center back Thomas Christensen, who's going to be sidelined with a thigh problem, according to what we're getting. For Juve today, the headline, Thuram, not on the squad list. That's why you get Colt Miners in there. Guys, we're going to talk about the official. We're going to set the tone. Then we're going to talk about confidence going into this one and predictions in what is actually very difficult one, I think, to predict. But your official is Marco Di Bello. 178 appearances in Serie A, 4.7 yellows per game, 54 red cards given, 65 PKs. I'm trying to see the last match he's done for Juventus. The last match he's worked, Juve Stabia. Okay, where has he done? Empoli Juventus 0-0 draw. That was the last time we have seen Marco Di Bello.
When was that? 1983?
Last season, I think.
Last season.
Yeah.
0-0 draw against Empoli.
A lot more
God
recent.
damn.
Yeah.
Nico Gonzalez, Cope Miners as a 10. Yildiz, Douglas Luiz and Locatelli, 2-man pivot. Kalulu, Cambiaso, fullbacks, Gatti and Bremer. Yeah, 0-0 draw to Empoli. That's the last time we saw this guy. Guys, predictions. How do you feel about this one? This one's all on the players. Ain't nothing to do with Brambilla. You just kind of lay him out for what to expect from Udinese. I think it's the right call. 2 strikers. Yildiz in the 10. I think that's the right call. That's the right play. The rest is on the players. What do you think? Give me your prediction. Give me a bold call. Give me a tiebreaker. Let's go. Justin, fire away, man.
Oh, all right. Let's see. Part of me wants to say we lose 1-0.
Why the hell would part of you want to say that?
Because part of me thinks that's what's going to happen. So it's like the heart versus the brain conversation we're having internally here. I'm gonna say maybe a 2-1, like an ugly 2-1 victory for us. Ugly 2-1. If we have those guys on the pitch and they like to get up and have a hard time getting back, maybe we can sneak in behind them. We've seen Dusan play some better ball with his passing and his touches, unlike Openda, who plays like he's got donkey hooves. 2-1. I'll get a Chico off the bench goal and a random goal from like a midfielder or like a non-attacker.
Right as you shit talk Openda, we got a 6-1 Juve with a hat trick for Openda call. Love it, love it, love it. Trim,
I want that guy's drinking.
Hit me with yours, Trim. Come on. What's your prediction?
Okay, so I know I'm not the most confident, and I may seem very pessimistic with all the news lately and kind of our recent run of form, but this screams typical Juve win, new coach bump. It just screams it because these guys are embarrassed. They got their tail between their legs. So I'm going to go 2-1 Juve. My tiebreaker, to be different from Justin, is we're going to get a goal off a penalty. So my goal scorers are Vlahovic and David. David will get off the schneid today. He'll get his second in Serie A. Take the heat off me a little bit, hopefully. Maybe I'm wishing for that. But I think the tiebreaker in the end is going to be they're going to concede a PK and Vlahovic is going to step up and bury. So 2-1 Juve.
I'm shocked by the Jonathan David prediction.
I have no idea what to predict. I'll be quite honest. I mean, I could see this thing ending in another ugly, ugly draw. I don't even know. I don't even know with these guys because I have, I guess all I could say is we're going to find out about this group today in this game. Because, like we said, Brambilla is a non-factor. You take him right out of the equation. Yeah. When Patrice Evra comes out, and even the fan base as a whole is really laying it on thick for these players, it's that moment, and this is that moment, this is that game, where your pride has to kick in. And if you have any type of intestinal fortitude as a fucking player, if you have any fucking cojones, this is the game to show it. This is the game to show it. And this is the game to do it. So what's our confidence level that these guys deliver and they show and they're like, yeah, we're better than this. We are capable of more. We believe in ourselves. Fuck, on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm at 2.5. It could go either way. Because for so much of this season, I've seen only a few guys actually with the wherewithal that they're like, I want the ball in this situation. Give me the ball. And they don't shy away from trying to make things happen. So I don't really know. It's all for them to show me. So right now, based on the level of belief that I'm kind of at, the way Udinese is going to prepare, the way they're going to play this game, 1-1. Thinking it could be a 1-1 draw. I want them to prove me wrong. I'd love a 3-0 victory. I just don't have much faith. I still feel very little faith that they won't concede. Yeah. So I'll put Udinese down for 1. But as far as us bagging, we haven't scored in 4 games in a row now? Is it 4 matches in a row? Pretty sure. You got to go back to the Villarreal match for us to score. So to get 2, 3, prove it to me. Prove it to me. All the shit talk, all the media, all this, prove to me that you guys are capable of more. Let's go, boys. It's time for them to show us.
Yeah, so you're saying they have to earn their stripes?
That's what we've always been saying. Earn your goddamn stripes. Hashtag earn the stripes. Okay? Goddamn. And by the way, okay, let's address the elephant in the room, okay? Trimmy,
where's the elephant?
I'm coming to your aid, okay? I'm coming to your aid today, okay? It's because I love you, brother. Jonathan, David, I hear the talk in here about Trim, the kit, and everything. Well, the AJC Army isn't always, innocent and always isn't flying, good. So, Cugino Eddie,
I think
we twist things up a bit here. You might have to shift the bet if the goal thing isn't working because his call was for Luca. So you might have to change the bet to who's shittier of the two, David or Luca, to maybe even things out because that guy would have been a disaster, I think. And it's fucking looking that route for them and the money they spent. Maybe you guys shift it out. I don't know. But you know what? Whatever. A kit's a kit. We'll still dish it out. I have no problem with it. But hey, just remember some of the shouts for Lorenzo Luca. Madonna mia.
I appreciate I appreciate you stepping in. I was gonna say something, but I'm a humble guy. I like to just take my lumps.
Just take it easy. And the only reason Primo Calciu, that guy is visible, is because he's a fucking beanpole and stands 7 feet tall. Otherwise, he ain't fucking visible either. Now, let's get to Storm the Barn. Let's have some fun. Justin, what, you got something? It looks like you're about to...
Well, you talking about Luca. I thought you were talking about tall, skinny Luca. I thought you were talking about,
Luca Natale off the HAC?
I thought that's who you were talking about the whole time. Yeah. There's another guy that stinks. So that's who I thought we were about. But okay.
Luca doesn't stink, man. It's great hygiene. Good dude.
I can confirm that. That.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He might be a separatist from Quebec, but that's besides the point, okay? I'm having, let's get Massimo in here. I'm having a hard time convincing myself that with the hiring of Spalletti, we're not going to be in the exact same spot this time next year looking for a new coach. Give me some reasons for optimism. Okay. So, reasons for optimism. This is... I guess it for me, it would have to depend on what's your belief. What's your belief on how you build, how you start? Do you start with your vision? Do you start with what you want to be, who you want to be, and then you go find your coach? Or do you find your coach and then build for him? Everybody sees things a little bit differently, right? For me, I don't know if Spalletti's the right guy, but to not be in the exact same spot, he's more experienced than the last two. And in theory, he's a guy that you could at least give a few seasons to. And it's doing something different than going the Motta route and going the Tudor route. So it's different. It's different in that sense that they've gone for experience. That's really the most optimism I can give you, and the fact that the style of play, depending if Spalletti goes back to the Spalletti of old, with 4-3-3 or a variation of that. One of the things I've said we need to get rid of with our group because they just can't fucking comprehend it is hybrid. Any hybrid setup of any sort needs to stop. That's one piece of optimism I can give you. There ain't no hybrid shit with him. Hopefully, unless he's trying to do the same thing he did with the Azzurri, which was a disaster.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's really
me,
all I can offer for optimism. But Trim?
Yeah, for me, like I was saying, like I'm probably the last person to ask because I'm not optimistic really at all, which just sounds terrible. And I'm trying to be. But if there is anything, it's going to be formation because I've seen it countless times throughout the Juve community. We want to play a 4-3-3. Well, we're going to get that, hopefully, if he ends up sticking with that. The other maybe positive that we'll see, but again, hindsight's 20/20, so we'll see down the road, but is if he comes in and he does change those core guys that have been here pretty much since, well, I guess going back to like Max, so Cambiaso, Loca, Gatti, like if those guys leave, I'm not going to say that I'm like a huge fan of it, and I'm not going to say that it's a detriment, but that culture shock maybe, hopefully, is what we need. I don't know yet. It's too early to tell, right? Because really, those are like the guys that are withstanding the last sporting directors and coaches, right? So we'll see. But like I said, I'm not the most optimistic if I'm being truthful, but I hope I'm wrong in this case.
Yeah. And Justin, what would you give for optimism to Massimo?
I mean, if we're searching for optimism and we're just going to stay on that path, at least he's won something. I mean, while we don't give him a lot of credit, he has had a winning season and won a trophy, which we haven't done in a while. So that's nice. And, I mean, the last time we had a bald coach, people liked him. Well, actually, Tudor's bald. Never mind. Malta was better. Bologna got better after he left, and they got rid of their best player. So he was getting credit for things that he probably shouldn't have gotten credit for.
Maybe.
And no one really wanted Tudor in the first place. So at least if we have Spalletti, we can call him Spaghetti, so the nickname's cool because everyone likes spaghetti. Top pasta shape.
I don't know. It might be overrated to Trimmy.
Well,
spaghetti, no. Cannelloni, yes. Overrated.
Okay. So spaghetti's good. We're going to go with that. And the optimism is he's not the current coach, or wasn't the current coach when they played like shit. So
it's interesting.
Is it going to get worse? Probably not.
It's interesting with Trim mentioning the culture shock because I said like 2 years ago, it's like time for a culture shock. Like time to get an actual culture shock. It's more than just sending some guys out the door. Because like, who are you signing? Who are you bringing in? Culture, again, who do you want to be? What kind of characters are you bringing in here? Do you care? Have they cared over these past years, or have they only been looking at the dollar signs? It's got to make sense. It's got to make sense. So let's see. But Spalletti, there's definitely some things. We can't just write it off completely. I mean, guys, I've been completely transparent and straightforward from this one from the get-go. I don't like the guy. Period. Like, I don't like him. I'll be 100% honest with you. I think he talks a lot of fucking gibberish. He's fucking telling you stories that mean sweet fuck all. Trying to seem like he's some type of professor. Just talk about the fucking game and your team. And he wasted no time getting a fucking huge ego. And he talked a lot of shit about our team. Okay? About us. Our group. Our organization. He's got a fucking tattoo with the last fucking mutts. Okay? I don't like the guy. I don't like him. I never have. I never will. But it's not about me. If he brings what's good, if he brings what this group needs, what this team needs, I'll support him. And I am going to support him. Because I don't support a player. I don't support a couple players. I don't support a coach. I support Juventus. If Juventus decides he's the guy, that's who they want to bring in, okay, so be it. But I'll be flat out honest with you guys. I don't like him. I can hear it now. Hey, What do you think about going this formation, Luciano, and how do you think that does? Well, first, before we talk about formations, these men must head to Lake Minnetonka, cleanse their souls, look in the reflections of themselves on the water above, and then only then can we decide on a formation to get. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Like, this is the kind of nonsense this guy spews. That is just garbage. Just fucking pure and utter garbage. Like talk the fucking game, man. Like. Anyways,
well,
I'll put.
At least he's Italian, so everyone says make Juve Italian again.
At least they gave him back his steering wheel in Napoli, so he'll be able to get to the games on time in Juve there and drive there. Yeah. But you know what? It is what it is, man. We'll deal with Spalletti. I'll deal with Spalletti. Okay. I just don't really like the guy. I really don't.
So I have one quick question. Over under, how many games until we see him with his hands in his pocket on the sideline and the Scrabble face going? Over under how many games? I gotta say at least I would think not the first one, maybe the second game. By the second game he coaches, he's gonna be standing there, his typical pose. He just Scrabble face, hands in his pockets.
What's a Scrabble face? Is that a Canadian
just like
thing?
Confused, yeah, just confused. The look of confusion, bewilderment. Shout out Sebastian Maniscalco.
Going back to Primo's point here, and his comment about very few coaches can change the culture, and we need a culture change from the very top. I actually agree with that, and I've been saying it forever. You need a culture change from the top. Very few coaches can change a culture. Here's the thing. When you're looking for your coach to change the culture, for those of you that remember what I was saying about Antonio Conte this past summer, I said he masks. He's the type that masks your shortcomings in the office and up top because he can actually change that culture. Spalletti is the type that can do it, but guess what? If the results don't follow, you've just made another mess and another shitstorm chasing guys for this guy, and the culture remains the same from an organizational standpoint, and then boom, you're left with this, right? So it's very, very difficult. It's very, very difficult. Spalletti. Let's see, everybody. If he signs, which it appears it's gonna, good luck and Godspeed, sir. It's do or die for both Juve and Spalletti. So I'll be optimistic and say it actually might work out. Let's hope he'll make Juve watchable at least. Well, that's one of the things too, right? This guy's he should be driven and motivated after what happened to the Azzurri. He's got major egg on his face. He went from bringing Napoli the third title to frickin' rock bottom with the Azzurri, right?
Yeah.
So that's a great point from Tomas. This guy's going to be motivated and driven. He should be. Kenny
Shouldn't
D.
take that to be motivated, but
what do you guys think is Spalletti's strengths? Do you think any specific players will benefit more under him? That's a great question too. Who do you think will thrive under Luciano Spalletti in this group? Chat, who do you think is going to thrive under Spalletti?
Whoever he plays on the wing, so Chico, depending where he sees Yildiz fit, is he going to put him back on the left side as a winger in a 4-3-3, or is he going to play him in the middle? You'd like to hope and think he can turn Coop into some form or version of a Lobotka like he had at Napoli. Mind you, Lobotka started to play better when he left, so he had his ups and downs with him too. I mean, the defenders, I don't think so, because he's more offensive, so it's going to be all the guys up front and in the middle. So,
is anybody picking Locatelli? Locatelli going to thrive under Spalletti? Holy. Yeah. The first guy that came to mind is Chico.
Yeah, little Cheeks.
I think Chico's going to be a demon for Spalletti.
Yeah.
He likes his wingers. He likes his wide players. Yeah. And I think, if you can get the guy fit, he's played on the left side before in Zhigrova. I wouldn't be surprised to see at some point Spalletti throw out a 4-2-3-1 that has Zagrova on the left, Yildiz in the 10, and Chico on the right. I wouldn't be surprised if at one point he throws that out there.
It'll only be at one point because Zagrova will get hurt and we won't see him again for another 2 months because
you are some special type of asshole when we're trying to get positive.
No, the positive talk was 15 minutes ago. Zagrova is everyone's flavor of the month. He had a nice assist against us. Everyone fell in love with him. We said, he hasn't played a game this calendar year. We don't need to spend money on him. And then we sign him. He plays 3 games, and he's back holding his balls. So, I mean...
There's 2 players I think are going to be interesting watches for Spalletti, and that's Adzic and Miretti.
Yeah, the young guys.
Because, again, going back to your point, if you're right and Zagrova ends up doing that, that opens up Yildiz to move to the side, and Miretti and Adzic could be 10s for Spalletti in a 4-2-3-1. So those are 2 names that I would definitely watch out for with Spalletti. Because I wouldn't be surprised if he looked at it that way. He could have Yildiz on the left, Chico on the right. Worth a shot. Worth a shot. So let's see. Ayub saying Patrice Evra nailed it in the softest way possible. Nailed it in the softest way possible. Usually I don't nail it flaccid, but these guys are shit. And has too much self-inflicted distraction, not to mention their overinflated egos. Hey, to all the players from Ayub laying it down. Boom. You know what, though? Evra, in how he delivered it, fuck, man. It was like exactly when I lost it on the post-match after Lazio and just said, I'm done with the fucking TikToks and the fucking, I don't give a shit what these guys watch on Netflix, whatever, get to business. And he literally brought it up in his thing. He goes, this day and age is different. He goes, these guys are different than my time. When it was always about football, it was only about football. You know, bringing bread, putting bread on the table from playing the game and playing the game to win for trophies, for money. He's like, and now he's like, I love social media. He's like, because it makes people happy. It makes me happy. He's like, it's great. But he's like, man, he's like, where are the players' priorities? Because for us, the priorities was football. It's different times, man. It's different fucking times. And it fell along the lines where me and Paolo went last show talking about these guys have been on vacation. Fucking, I don't know, but no more use of the locker room. You guys fucking get changed outside. I don't give a shit. Get changed on the fucking sidewalk. Walk into the fucking training grounds like I don't care. Like just fucking start struggling a bit. Start feeling struggle because you've had it made and it's cushy and you haven't earned it. Like,
yeah. It's to pick up on that, it was a very interesting kind of discussion you guys had in that previous pod, because to your point, the sense of entitlement, I mean, is it kind of our own doing in the sense of how good our facilities are, how good our structure is in terms of like what we've built? Like these guys come in and everything is catered to them. They don't have to really work for it as much per se. Like, I mean, build up to it to get noticed by us, sure, but
you want good facilities. You want all that because like that will help attract players and talent as well. But at the same time, it falls in line with like when you're not delivering, you gotta fucking cut something. Like Spalletti. This is like maybe a piece of optimism to show guys if you're talking about culture change. Remember when he fucking took all those fuckers' PlayStations away? There's no fucking PlayStation here. He's like, there's no fucking PlayStations. Like, you're football fucking players. And he took it away. He's just like, no PlayStation. And I'm like, you know what? I would have been pissed. Fucking love PlayStation. But, you know, hey, so be it. That's your call. Remember Conte? No fucking sex. No sex. He was like, no. Legs get weak. Fucking no. That's it. Like, it's funny. It's kind of over the top, it seems to some. But at the same time, cutting things back and taking things away, sometimes you do that shit. Sometimes you got to do that shit. But like with these guys, my biggest issue is you haven't been delivering. We can't just rip up a contract and say, see you later. It doesn't work like that. So what are you doing? We keep making excuses. We keep protecting them in media. We keep doing all this, and they keep getting more and more minutes. Well, that ain't fucking cutting it either. You know?
Yeah.
You need to send some messages. You need to send some guys, while healthy, in the stands. And say, you know what, man? You're not even dressing today. You'll be up, here's your ticket. You're up there. Fucking make it happen. Do shit like that.
Yeah, if we didn't
God
have world-class facilities, we'd be like a laughing stock. Like, oh, we're supposed to be the best team in Italy, but we got these mediocre facilities and everything. So I feel like we have to have them. It's just you got these smooth-brained players that they bring in and don't seem to want to.
Mitch's boys watching, my bad. You know what? Earmuffs. I'll say earmuffs next time. My bad.
Right.
My bad. Okay.
What about the PlayStation?
Maybe too many F-bombs. Do you think we will play well today and win? Or will we play the same or even worse? What do you expect? Do you think we'll play better? I don't. Why would we play all of a sudden way better? I think new coach bump, like just this coaching change bump, everyone attacking the players. Again, we'll see what they're made of. I expect high energy. I expect like them to work their ass off. It'll be better from that standpoint. But as far as the actual gameplay, what's going to lead me to believe that one match away, 3 days away, that all of a sudden they just picked up patterns of play and they're just going to fucking blow the roof out the place?
Well,
Nothing.
We'll be able to tell you if Tudor really lost the locker room or not, because if they come out and play significantly harder today, then we'll know.
I still wouldn't put that down to Tudor. I would think it's a matter of pride, and they've been literally attacked harder than they ever have been over the past, I don't know how many years. These past few days since Tudor sacking, this group has been heavily attacked from all angles.
Yeah, and a major shakeup. Sometimes that's what it takes, right? But the thing is, how consistent will that hard work performance be, right? So we'll see. But yeah, I don't really expect anything different. It's just when it comes to the new guy coming in, Spalletti, will he create kind of like new attacking ideas in the final third? Because we struggled heavily with Tudor. Maybe that's something that Spalletti can offer for this roster and for this group of players, is better attacking ideas in the final third to actually finally try to convert some of these chances, because they're very few and far between. And when we do get the chances, either a guy slips, the final 5 foot pass is off, off to, they miss the pass, like stuff like that. That's what I'll be looking for when it comes to, not specific to today, but when Spalletti comes in.
Yeah, locker rooms are always a mess when results are negative, in my opinion. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But who's like, and I've been saying this, a coach's words only go so far. Like, your leaders need to step in there and help as well.
Yeah.
This is why, like, it's not just like a Tudor thing. Because if you are a captain of a group, of a team, you're not always gonna, like, number one, you don't get to decide who your boss is. You don't get to decide that. Okay? But if you're a captain of a side, you need to find a way to, like, make it work for the group. So this is where it gets interesting. Because if you're literally named the captain, and this is where we get into the Locatelli-Tudor dynamic. If you're the first to get subbed all the time, but you're the first captain on the team, ahead of Bremer, okay? You start to maybe ask questions. You start to maybe feel a certain way, right? And if they're going back and forth, and then all of a sudden he goes back to him and minutes might be an issue or whatever, yeah, I really don't get it. Like, are you of the belief that if you are the first captain of the team, like, it needs to go to somebody that's always on the pitch? Do you believe that?
For sure. 100%.
Your first captain.
Yep.
I believe it. I think it's silly to say otherwise. Like, if it's your first cap, so if it isn't in fact Locatelli, then Name your guy that's always out there for you, and that's your captain. Because it just creates this unnecessary rift or certain feelings that don't need to be there. It's weird. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, it's weird.
So in saying that though, Berto, we were talking about Yildiz maybe getting it too soon. So he tends to be one of the main guys that plays every game. So would it be him being consistent with the armband? Like, you know what I mean? See, this is where we're kind of at that. It's all encompassing, and it all goes back to we don't have that one, maybe even two, like bona fide studs that are playing game in and game out, that are fit enough to play every match, that should be leaders. We clearly have identified that. Yeah. What is the leadership in that locker room, right? But again, they have to make do with what they have. So yeah, it's interesting.
And I see Skippy's comment here. Loca will lose captaincy with Spalletti. I said this even when you pull an interim in, even when Tudor was in, going into the summer. Let the team decide its captains. The players decide that. If he comes in and I've already said it, if he comes in here and lets prior relationships or what happened with the Azzurri all of a sudden dictate things in here, he's going to lose them before this thing even starts. And you could call them soft for it. You could call it what I don't care. I'm just telling you. My personal view is if he walks in and he's already got predeterminations on guys based on the Azzurri, it's dead before it even starts, with this group at least. I think it would be the wrong approach for him to take. Do you agree with that, Justin? Or do you think he should go in and he should set the tone like immediately and bring those predeterminations in?
I don't think you can do that at any job. I just think that's the wrong way to go about things. He's in a new role at a new club with new players. If he had the same Azzurri 11, okay, then yeah, come in and say, okay, well, I've seen you guys play together before. This is what I want to happen. But we're missing some guys to make that happen. So I don't think it would be fair, because Locatelli probably does play a different role for us than he would for them. And that was, how many years ago now that he was coaching?
A year. 2 years or something.
Only a year? Everyone's form changes. Relationships change. Things are different. We're probably not going to play the same formation. I think it would be the wrong thing to do to come in and automatically assume that everything is the same. And I think you got to... And, to be honest, to me, the best coaches adapt to what you have. You put the players in the positions where they're going to succeed. So if he comes in and says, no, you were shit before over here, I'm not going to try to find a better place for you. That's a reflection of him more so than the players.
I'll be quite honest. We crack jokes about it because it's funny and everything the way it went down with the Azzurri and whatnot. But I actually don't think Loca and Spalletti are going to have an issue at all. I don't think it's going to be a problem at all.
Yeah, it's the same. Like, I think we just joke about it because of the previous, with the national team. But again, like, we're trying to compare the national team job to coaching Juve and club football. We'll keep Juve out of it. Just club football in general, like, it's a totally different beast. So I would like to hope and think that Spalletti's smart enough and he's been coaching for long enough, this grand philosopher, that, he's just going to come in and be like, okay, this is what I have and I'll use what I have at my disposal. Maybe his minutes drop, okay, but he's still going to use them. I don't think he's going to totally...
So... Picking Locatelli for selection for Azzurri duty, etc., is a lot different than looking at this Juve roster and where Locatelli stands on it and captaincy and stuff. It's a whole different ballgame. So he might not see it one way for the Azzurri. Doesn't mean he's going to see it one way for this side. I don't think it's going to be an issue, but let's see. Time will tell. Berto, how about we start calling out those entitled players? Have we gone easy on them? I feel like we've been pretty hard on them.
I don't know.
There ain't no protecting. There's nowhere for them to hide anymore, man. Like, I mean, you can't keep firing managers. Like, Coop resurrected under Spalletti. You see it happening, boys?
God, pray for it. That's all I gotta say.
If the
Pray for it.
philosopher can all of a sudden run an exorcism as well, maybe.
Yeah, let's hope.
Hard no.
Fair.
Firm, even.
Who has been this season the best player and the worst player? Love it. Who's been the best and who's been the worst so far?
Best player. Yield is probably best. Yield is Cheeks. Combination. Worst player? Well, I love a good Cambiaso slander, so I'll go Cambiaso. Because I literally can't think of anybody else off the top of my head.
It's between Cambiaso and Coop, I think, for worst.
Yeah.
I'd probably say it's, and honestly, borderline liability at times, Cambiaso.
Yeah.
Best player? Probably Yildiz.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Yildiz or Little Cheeks, like I said, I think.
Those two are the only two guys that even if they're not producing goals or assists, they're at least contributing, and you can see they're doing something throughout the game.
I'd put, I love it too, and you guys know I love it. Come at me, I don't give a shit, but Loka should be in the talk for best.
I knew it.
Absolutely has to. Most consistent,
He's
too.
been the most consistent. That I can.
He's had one bad game this season.
When?
The last game.
Fucking way early in the season. One bad game, and it was so funny.
Como,
everybody's like, I remember all the discussion. Coop's going to take him. Coop's over going to take him with Tudor. Coop's going to take. Ain't no chance, man. Ain't no chance. He's been one of the most consistent. I'm going to go Yildiz and Loka. But worst, Cambiaso and Coop. Probably them two. But I love it. You guys know I love it. Come at me with Loka. You can't. Can't do it. Can't do it. I think Luis gonna open the score today. Gonna open the score today, eh? Luis gonna open the score today.
For a second, I was thinking that was Adam. Is this Adam?
Oh man, Tomas stepping in there. You know what? Just for good measure, whoopah, yellow, not red, because I like it. Okay, but we'll give you the yellow. You're in the books now. Who has been okay? Sorry, my bad. We got this one. Yellow for me.
Yeah.
Yellow for Berto. Okay. Chance of Spalletti wanting to.
Yeah, there's always a chance.
This is the type of shit that scares us. This is what we don't want to see happen. Commit to these guys, and that's the kind of guy he wants and he's calling for. If Mario, Zhigrova, Openda, David, all are playing tonight, then I know for sure that Kamoli made the line. Well, I think there's only one of those guys in there, so there you go. You know, this Joao Mario thing, though, is crazy to me, man. Like, cut him loose a game. Fuck. At home,
yeah,
Udinese, like, Cambiaso, like, if he shits a bed again today, it's just gonna be crazy.
Well, especially in a low block, like you need a guy that's gonna try to open up some gaps and some spaces with the ball. And I mean, Joao Mario does that. I don't know why they wouldn't consider him, but we'll see.
Is Loka gone and Di Lorenzo? I'm gonna go as far to say Loka is not gone in January. Okay, just jokes. I honestly believe they'll be just fine. How will Spalletti handle the forwards at the club? Don't be surprised. 4-2-3-1, man. 4-2-3-1. Telling you, he's going to utilize Adzic and Moretti instead of letting them rot on the bench with no ideas about how to fucking help our lack of presence in the center. Do you think Spalletti, if he comes, had asked for 1 to 2 players already for the January window? No. I don't think that would have been one of the things.
I think, too, to your point, like you've mentioned it before on previous pod, and I agree with it, that like I can't see Juve shopping in January. As much as we all want them to, we want them to bring in players at positions of need, like another CB, maybe another defender, so 2 defenders, and But I don't see them shopping in January. So
Yeah. Man. Let's go. Smart work music. Same thing. Here we go. We got a few more here. 9 years dominance. 2 coaches. Now, struggling for X amount of years with 5+ coaches. Few sporting directors. We don't have a sporting director right now. Camoli is the be-all, end-all. But no, it's done by committee. Chiellini pushed for Spalletti to come in here. You're going to hear all sorts of shit. Guys, the banner put up by the Ultra... Guys, all I'm going to say is the influence of the AJC is a force so fucking strong with this army. You have no idea, okay? We call out the players. Patrice Evra makes a fucking video. Goes all out on fucking saying all the same shit. No more fucking social media. Focus on football. Like, get it together as players. We talk about Elkan. I've been fucking harping on Elkan for so long. And I literally last show said if the Ultras knew fuck all about anything, this is the time to shine a light on Elkan. What do you get? Like 2 days later, fucking banner right there.
Yeah.
Pesci puzza de la testa. The fish stinks from the fucking head. A banner there. That's aimed at
awesome.
Mr. Elkan. Right there. Tudor, uno di noi.
Yeah.
There you go. And today the Ultras will get another chance to take a shot at Elkan. Will they? You think they'll take a shot?
Always.
Wouldn't surprise me, but yeah, we'll see.
The fish stinks from the head. Huh. It's also a big chance for Spalletti. He will try to do the best for sure. He waited for a big club. I mean, he's trying to salvage that horror show with the Azzurri, so it's a shot for him. Hard no on Spalletti reviving Juve. Based on what? Italy national team is not a good talking point. There is a drastic difference, though, between running the Azzurri and running a club. Because there is a big difference when you're only seeing guys, once a month and trying to put it together as opposed to with a club day in, day out. And if you're a philosopher that loves to tell stories, a month between stories, these guys are going to lose the plot. They're not going to remember the story about...
The irony is that you could argue that the national team's management and Gravina and all that is very similar to kind of what's going on close to home with us at Juve in the sense of it's just a mess. So it's actually kind of funny if you think about the two kind of organizations. It's, one's a national team, but with Gravina at the head of the national team, and again, what we're going through right now, it's kind of at least he could say he'll be used to working for teams that are kind of in disarray. And maybe
it's different. He's not gonna be able to get these guys on international duty to remember, Rochelle, a young woman's journey from Milan to Minsk. Like the story's gonna fall dead after a week.
I think we're overlooking a key factor here, and Dick was very firm on point.
Oh my god, just an easy family show. Dick Laurent coming in here. Hard no. So we gotta...
Good job being hard, Dick.
Hey. Appreciate it. That's the way to be. That's the way to be. Don't be soft like our players. Alright. Let's go.
Hey.
Is there a possibility Spalletti will promote some young players from youth team?
Is that a real name?
Finocchiaro. Hey, who do we have eats a little bit today? Getting the first call up. Mangiapoco. So Mangiapoco is going to be in there. One of the extra eat a little bit there.
Oh, man.
But I don't know if Spalletti's going to get wild and all of a sudden you're going to see young players from our youth team. I don't think so.
There's no need for that.
I don't think we're going to go that route. I'll be quite honest. Well,
maybe, if anybody, maybe Pedro Felipe at the back. We do need another defender back there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't hurt.
Sell Vlahovic this winter or let him off for free next summer? We don't have the choice, Kenny.
Yeah.
Kenny D, brother of Kenny G. We don't have the choice. He is going to make an agreement with the team to leave at, year end. Why would a team purchase him from us unless in absolute dire need something happens and they're chasing like major trophies and they get a big injury? There ain't no way anybody steps up to the plate when they could just have him for free in 6 months' time.
Didn't we just do that with Segrova?
Well, it wasn't 6 months' time. It was a whole year.
So yeah, we could have signed him for a pre-contract in January.
No, you can't sign him for a pre-contract. You would have had to wait till January of this year. So the thought process was, is he going to recover in time? Is he going to be playing? And then do other teams beat you to the punch? We took a stab on it at that whatever price tag, and here we are. But it's not technically the same. I still said, just wait and see what happens. But what the hell do I know? I know J Medical. That's what I know. That guy's going to be done. You're going to find him one day with a leg amputated if we leave him in the hands of J Medical. For God's sakes. Remember Pubalgia, the same thing that Zagrova's been dealing with. Vlahovic was like done for almost a year. He was struggling for like a year and they couldn't figure it out. And he's back in games. He's out. I'm like, holy God, you guys. I read somewhere that Destiny Elemogali would go on camp with Juve. Does that mean that Juve sells him the following season? So yeah, the story around Destiny Elemogali is that he's going to be with Juve this summer. There is a shot. How can they even say this when we don't even know who the coach is? This is what makes me laugh. Is like, that's apparently the game plan from Juve. And to Zwartwork Music's point here, if they have a game plan like that already, not knowing who your coach is going to be, what's going to happen, then maybe the plan is to showcase him or whatever. It's crazy. But Elie Mogali is a tremendous talent. In a few days, the U17 World Cup Qatar starts, and make sure you watch this kid with the Azzurri, with the U17 Azzurri, man, because he's something else. He's a fun watch. But yeah, as far as being in with the first team squad, holy, got a long way to go. It'll be cool to see him with the first team in the summer. If Luciano Spalletti is this grand philosopher, let's hope he can inspire confidence in this team. The talent is there. The confidence is not. See, I stand firm, easy, that we are far more capable to do better than what we're seeing. Like, without a doubt for me. Is Spalletti going to be able to translate that more than Tudor? As much as I despise, I shouldn't say despise, as much as I don't like Spalletti, I actually believe he probably could. But how long will it last? I got a little bit more confidence in him over Tudor now after seeing what the hell I saw. Because Tudor was just unwilling to budge on certain things. Being stubborn is probably like one of the biggest detriments that a lot of coaches fall into. Second you're stubborn and the second you just can't find something, you're done. You're done. You let little things go and then they become big issues. I feel like that's what happened with Igor. What players will play well with Spalletti and what players? So we kind of talked about this, kind of covered that one already. I say watch out for Adzic and Miretti. Guys feel Chico is going to cook. Guys feel Yildiz will cook. Out of the midfield, Thuram. Some called Thuram to be the guy. But the early indications are he's scrapping the three-man back. He's going to go four-man back line. I'm all in on that.
You have to. You have to play four at the back with who we have. It makes too much sense. I don't know why they were.
Well, see, the other argument was because of who we have is exactly why you have to go three-man back line. Because they're not strong. So people get this sense of more security with a three-man back line, but I actually don't, to be quite honest.
I think it exposes us more. Like I get what people from that viewpoint are trying to say, but I'd rather have one defender at the back, either left or right side, because that's where we would be exposed. Be exposed than in the middle. like the middle would be solidified with any combination of Gatti, Rugani, Gatti, Bremer if he comes back. Even Kalulu back there, I think they'd be okay. But I don't know.
See, if you're gonna name a strength, in your opinion, what's the strongest phase of this team? Defense, midfield, attack. What's the strongest phase? Attack?
Should be attack.
Should be attack.
Should be.
Yeah,
Sacrificing your strongest part doesn't make sense. If you're going 3 and you're playing the way Tudor was with all these guys, it's like, holy shit, man. Now you're sacrificing other guys, which is why I said 3-4-1-2 is probably the closest he could get out of what he was trying to do to get there. But a 4-3-3, a 4-3-1-2, probably better overall balance-wise. But the attack, fuck, they've gone cold. Like, cold. They got to start scoring. We got to start scoring goals. Today, Udinese is going to come in here with a solid game plan. They've been playing much, much better over the last little bit. And nothing's a given for Juve right now. That's where we're at. And today, the big question mark is, who are these guys? What are they going to show us? Are they going to react? Are they going to respond? It feels eerily similar to these past few years, doesn't it, boys? When we're like, we need a reaction. You know how many times we've said, we need a reaction. Need a reaction.
Too many.
We needed one like the last 3 games.
3?
I mean, at least generous. The last 3. Because we came out of the break like, oh, we got to play well against Como.
Fucking winless in 8, bro, man. Winless in 8. Time to get after it. And you know what? If Spalletti is there and he is in the stands and he's watching this game there's your opportunity, boys, to show him what's up. So not just that you've been lambasted and just dragged through the mud everywhere on socials for the past few days, but also here you go. Like, boom. Next guy up, right there in the stands. Show him what you got. Let's go, boys. Today, you got to get a win. You got to find a way to get a win against Udinese here. We're wrapping things up here. There is no watch along today, but there is a post-match podcast tomorrow, and tomorrow probably is going to be the announcement of Luciano Spalletti as the next head coach of Juventus. Trim, Justin, absolute pleasure. Fellas, everybody in the Army, absolute pleasure as always. Enjoy the match today. Hopefully it is enjoyable. Hopefully we get a victory tomorrow morning, post-match podcast. And we'll have some announcements there as well. Guys, get the likes up. As always, absolute pleasure. You guys keeping us on our toes today. Great stuff. The Storm, the Barns were all fantastic. Let's see what the season holds with Luciano Spalletti. Oh, man. All I'm going to say is this. There better be a stipulation in there where he can't wear short sleeve shirts. That's all I'm going to say. All right? Fino alla fine. Forza Juventus. Ciao tutti. We'll see you in the morning. And God damn it, beat Udinese today. You're at home. Let's go. Show us some goddamn balls.